Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Blaze and welcome back to Stoneblock 2. In the last episode, we got one of the best items in the game, this thing. The energy condenser, which is going to allow us to basically duplicate blocks using other things as energy sources. And it is going to be super useful going forward. So one thing we can definitely do with that is Insanium. We need more Insanium. We make more. We just find something that we have a lot of. We have a good bit of diamonds. However, emeralds. We don't use emeralds nearly as much. And even like all these swords that I have, we could EMC these and just make all of the Insanium that we would ever need. So we're going to be able to finish making all of the seeds today, or at least most of them. So let's get the last four. Let's actually put these in there, and let's make the last four Insanium crafting seeds, the tier 6 seeds. And that will take all of 2 seconds to make, and then we can start making all of this stuff as we want to. The plan for today is we're going to do a little bit of work up here. There is a couple things that I want. We're going to need an interface for that, which we do have. You might have guessed what we're going to do. We're going to set up an alloy smelter, a good one. And then we are going to work on the farm and getting this maybe not decorated, but at the very least functional. At least that's the plan. So, good news and bad news about all of this. The cows are done. We just got to build the barn. And I will probably do most of that off camera. I'll be honest with you guys. Building sometimes is just not something I want to hop on here and do. So, that delays these series. This series has been delayed more so because I wanted to finish Skyblock, which we recently did. But yeah, building this stuff is kind of, I really have to force myself to do it, and I don't feel like it today, so I'm not going to do too much. I might do a little bit of building, placing, some of these hay bales down, so that we can have, the hay bales are even, like, really, really annoying to place, because we've got to place them fairly specifically, so that they are the way I want them to be. So yeah, it's a lot of tedious things that I don't really want to do right now. I wonder if there is a way to block rotate. Nope, that's extended inventory. That is achievements. I will look into some stuff with that, maybe make things a little bit easier. But the bad news is these roost collectors, which I wanted to use, they're not going to work. Not going to work for our chickens because so I did a test. I put 3 chickens here, red, green, and blue chickens. Put these 2 here and sped all of them up so they produce a lot of things to kind of simulate having all the chickens running at once. Both of these did collect the drops from those chickens. However, it was super slow. So what we're going to have to end up doing is probably just using item conduits, and that shouldn't be too much of a problem, all things considered. It's just going to be a little bit more space consuming and time consuming to put all those on, and I don't even think we're going to need to put any upgrades in those item conduits because most things are not going to produce that fast, so we'll just deal with that. We'll get all the item conduits set up. That is one thing that we are going to be doing today. And yeah, so let's get this alloy smelter set up. First thing we need to do with this is, whoops, I can hit the right buttons. Alloy smelter. We're gonna make the advanced one because why not? So we're gonna need the normal, and it requires a simple powered furnace. I don't know if we have one of those. So let's see. Okay, we have nothing of that. And we don't have the simple, okay, so we're just going to do this recipe. Whoops. Actually, we could just do this recipe. Enhanced machine chassis. Can we make that fairly easily? We're going to need end steel chassis. Do we have any more end steel? We could probably make some. So 4 of those, 6 of those, dark steel, and what's the other thing for this? I don't remember. More obsidian. Okay. So obsidian. And then do we have the industrial dye blend? We do. I think that is what this requires. No, it requires the enhanced, which we also do have. We are going to need some energy conduits. We're also going to need a little bit of item conduit and ME conduit. And so let's go ahead and get this stuff crafting. We're going to go with the enhanced because this thing is way too fast not to. And we can just go ahead and misclick everywhere. Let's speed this up. Alright, there is the 6 end steel that we needed. Now we are going to make the chassis. What other things are we going to need? We're going to need 3 furnaces. Easy enough. A cauldron, also pretty easy. And vibrant alloy stuff of the gears. And that should be everything we need. Once we have the chassis, we'll put those in there. So I should be able to just do this. And yep, just need the machine chassis, the enhanced chassis, whatever it's called. This will not take very long to make. And this is going to give us the enhanced alloy smelter. We're just going to need a capacitor. I guess we'll just make an octadic. If we make a little bit of glowstone, just get a stack of that. It'll be useful. So let's get the capacitor. And we should be able to set this up pretty easily. The spot we're going to do it is right here. We're just going to do something like that. Interface. This is going to need to connect. And we'll have, nope, not like that. We'll have an item conduit. So that's not going to work too well. So you know what? Let's break these. And we'll put this thing underneath. Because we don't really actually need to see it. We are going to need to get some more ME conduits. Should not be a problem. And we might need some other conduits, but we'll see. So the ME conduit, we just need the fiber. Any moment. There we go. So we get those. And unfortunately, this top part of the enhanced alloy smelter does not count for anything. It doesn't actually work. We can't connect anything to it. So we'll have to do something like this. We'll get these guys hooked up like so. Extract. Always active. Insert. And I think... yeah, I think that's all we need to do. Because the interface will push into here. We need to put the capacitor. We're going to put this on alloys only. And yeah, so it should pull and push. That should work out just fine. We just need some more enhanced energy conduits. And infinity reagent. Okay, so wait, no, that is copper. What? That's weird. Can we make it that way? No, we'll do these. And I'm doing all of this just so that I can go back and make, so that should be getting power. So I can make pulsating iron so that I can have this automatically craft specifically the conduits. So we need pulsating iron. That is a very simple recipe. Once we set that to processing, and perfect. So then we can just do this, enhanced alloy smelter. Now I can make pulsating iron as needed, and more importantly, I can tell the system to make a lot of item conduits because we're going to need a lot. Let's just go ahead and make 200. Why not? So obviously I didn't need to do all of that to just get the conduits, but whatever. So one thing that I've kind of talked about but not really is there's a sheep here. We don't want any. There's some weird color sheep. We don't want any other animals around. So let's just drop off all of that. We could get the insanium for the record. We are going to need 12, I believe. And the seeds. And we could put those. Oh, hey, that was a quest. Which don't have my normal hotkey set up. Also, I forgot last time to take the reward for making the energy condenser. So we got some diamond tier barrel things and crafting seeds. We can get an exchanging gadget. Alright, so the only thing left to do in this quest line is to make all the furnaces, which we'll probably do at some point. But, yeah, so we have a couple things to do. I showed a couple episodes ago our sky, and I'm going to work on that again, like I said, when I feel like doing more of the building type stuff. But what we're going to be doing here is making a very nice red barn. And one of the big things with a red barn that you kind of gotta figure out is barns typically have big sliding doors, and so we're gonna want to have something like that here, but we want to make it look kind of nice, and so we're going to make this architect saw bench because I don't think these wedges are going to be good. Do we have any birch? We do not have any birch trees currently. Let's just get some wood. I was a little worried there for a second. Let's just get oak. This will work just fine for demonstration purposes. Now, obviously, it would be kind of out a block, but whenever I think of barn doors, I think of the big X they have on the front, and so this is way too thick. It doesn't look bad in the sense of the style of it, the shape of it. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. It's just way too large for what we actually want. So wedges are out, but this architect's saw bench might actually have what we need. So we need a large pulley. We need a circular saw blade. This stuff is really cheap and easy. We also need the pressure plate. And that makes the architect's saw bench. Now we can put this down, and there is a lot of stuff we can do with that. And I would probably want to use a light colored wood. But what does this look like? Oh, that is actually going to be perfect. Let's grab those. And we'll want something like this. And now these are normally used for roofing, but they're super thin. And then the question is, what happens if we take something the other direction? So and then what are these other things? What is this end? Okay, that is overhanging. All right. We can cross them. Oh, that is going to be perfect. We'll mess around with that. I will play around with that a little bit. They are really hard to hit, I will say. But that is going to be how we make the barn doors look good, because I think we can do valley overhang. You know, we can do a lot of different things. And maybe even like this stuff would be better. Potentially. So I will play around with that when I build the barn up. But these are going to be really cool. And I think, let's just test it with like jungle wood. I can make different colors of stuff. Now the question is, there's also railings, arches, windows, others, a lot of cool stuff. So this is going to be kind of key to making our barn look good. So I am going to do this. Let's go ahead and cut here for a moment. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with all of the chickens and decide what I'm going to make the chicken coop look like. I think, can we do painted? No, of course not. So we're going to want planks, I think, more than anything. And I think we're probably going to go with acacia wood, because that looks kind of what I think a chicken coop should look like. And we're also going to probably put in some iron bars, because we can get some, basically like a thin grid would look similar to like a chicken wire would, but I'm also going to go ahead and prep all of these seeds that we can get. I think the only ones we can't get yet is the neutronium, because we have to get into extreme crafting first, because we need a neutronium compressor, and that requires extreme crafting, which requires a bunch of nether stars. So we will get to that. Actually, we have 3 nether stars. We're going to take 1. And I think we're going to use this a little bit more than I might have anticipated. So we're going to want to do some things that have a lot of EMC. I'm going to look through and figure out something to get more nether stars, a lot more nether stars. And we're going to go ahead and try to get all this stuff taken care of. Now the question is, neutronium has an EMC value. Perfect. Because otherwise this is really, really slow. So we're going to try to finish up all the seeds. I'm going to work on the chicken coop a little bit and try to figure out exactly where we're going to put everything. And we are going to need to have storage somewhere. Now, I think I had thought about using this room for some of the storage, but it's kind of full. Also, you need to deal with all that. So we might move all of these to a different location and have a storeroom somewhere else. But we'll kind of play that by ear for right now. That might be the better plan, is just move all of this stuff, turn the farm off for a little bit, and then have central storage for this area somewhere down here. But I will kind of think about that and figure that out. We might do that like in this wall, or in this general corner. Could be all the storage. And I think that might be what we do. So we'll put storage here in this corner. We'll make a shed of sorts, and then we'll have our greenhouse here, which will probably go into the wall, and that will also feed into the stuff. We're going to need a lot of storage over here. So I'm going to kind of think about that and work on that. And I'll come back once I have basically all the seeds ready to craft and some progress with the chickens. So be right back. Alright, so I have all of the, at least I believe it is all of the roosts taken care of. We will be attaching all of the item conduits. I'll do that between episodes. I'm going to finish this kind of stuff up. I also started working on the floor to the cow barn. A lot of work to do, and like I said before, a lot of building that I just don't feel like doing. But we have this like weird structure in the center, and this, we should be able to access every single one of these roosts to take items out, and it will all go down here, so you can see we're in the center of that area. Actually, that might not work. I just realized we can't access that one. So there is literally just one that I don't know how we're going to deal with. And honestly, I think we'll do something like this for these guys. But I will figure things out one way or another. And yeah, that is what we had to do. I had to kind of, well, move this out one block. And we're not going to worry about having this completely finished on the side and the back. It's just going to be wires, basically, and then we'll put the roof on it. So hopefully it will look okay when we're done. But I will work on that between episodes, probably, maybe. At least try to get the... I'm going to try to get the chickens in there. And I currently have a tunnel built that goes all the way down here. And this is where we're going to eventually have the storage. This goes up into this area. So this is where I'm going to need to figure out the storage. And for the time being, we're going to send everything off into an obsidian chest, which I will put down here for right now. And this is just to help me kind of get everything that comes through. So all that being said, I'm going to work on this. Now, I could always just put everything into the ME system. However, that is usually a bad idea. When you have a lot of items being generated and being sent, you don't want to just dump them into your ME system. We definitely could, but it's better to have a drawer system that is limited, and we can make just a ton of void upgrades and not have to worry about that. And the main reason is just so that the system doesn't fill up with items like, you know, eggs or red dye or something that we don't really need. So it is a thing that we need to be concerned with. So that's what we're gonna do, and then we'll just hook that up probably to this terminal area, so that we can access the inventory from everywhere. So all that being said, we're gonna finish today's episode off by making the rest of the seeds, and we're also going to try to get some acacia saplings, which we just used the crook on some dirt, and there it is. Cool. That was easy. I made another stone crook that was quite simple to do. And so the acacia sapling, we will probably go ahead and, let's see, what do I not really need? I do not need string anymore, so we're going to break this with an axe. And then we're going to turn this into an acacia tree farm. And that should work pretty well. So this is already giving us birchwood. So we just need to take out some of the stuff, and we'll start collecting a bunch of acacia wood so that we can make our, yeah, the chicken coop. I had to think of what it was called for a second. That was embarrassing. So, yeah, we have 4 seeds that we need to make. And then we will have all the mystical agriculture seeds, and eventually we will be able to set those up so that we can get all of the good stuff from that. And we're probably going to set up some auto crafters below for a lot of the seeds, such as the nether star seeds. We have no use for the essence itself. We want the shards turned into nether stars, And even the shards are not important, so we'll have an auto crafter turning all of those into that, and we'll get to that when we start setting that all up. However, we can go ahead and make a couple of seeds right now, so we can do Awakened Draconium. We can do the Dragon Egg, and so that is those two. We need Nether Star and Neutronium seeds. So I'm going to put these in here. And I don't know the order they need to go into, but these will be the last seeds that we need to make. And for the record, the chickens, the only chickens I don't have currently is Magical Wood, Plutonium, and Demon Metal. The Magical Wood is being an absolute pain. The Plutonium is also kind of being a pain, and we can't make the Demon Metal until we get the Magical Wood. So 3 more chickens, and then those, I guess, 5, because 2 of these are crossbreeding. So we're almost there with all the chickens, and we'll get those set up. I will put those in place between episodes. That is kind of the main goal. But we need to make some nether stars, and I have an extra nether star crux, so we're going to use that. We're going to get 3 nether stars from that, and we're going to take 4 nether stars to make the nether star seeds. And that is that. So the only one left to make is the Neutronium seed. And in order to get these, we're going to need Neutronium ingots. Neutronium ingots come from Neutron Collectors, which is not too terrible to make other than these crystal matrix ingots, which require nether stars and diamonds. And we also need an extreme crafting table. Now we're going to need the extreme crafting table regardless. That is kind of the in-game crafting table. So we're going to need these crystal matrix ingots. So let's go ahead and make one of them. And then what we can do is duplicate these. Now these are very expensive, 400,000 EMC, but it's 2 nether stars and a bunch of diamonds. We're also going to need a double compressed crafting table. So is that the 81? Let me see. That is, should be, because it's 9 of those and it's 9. Okay, yeah, so that's 81. Quick math. 16, 17, and a stack should be enough. And we should be able to make 9 of those. And there is the double compressed crafting table. Now, making the extreme crafting table and the Neutron Collector are quests. They are quests. I've been playing too much Captive Minecraft lately. So we just need to dump in a bunch of good things to the chest. We need to feed the chest, and then we'll get what we want. So let's just see. I have 7 blocks of Terra Steel. We're going to get a lot more of this later, but that is quite a bit of EMC. So let's just dump that in there. We got 10 crystal matrix ingots, so we can use 8 of those to make the extreme crafting table. And we are just going to set that down right over here. And again, it is a quest. We're going to get a random reward. And this thing, induction smelter, we could just throw that into the chest as well, but we'll wait on that. So we are going to need a lot of redstone blocks. Let's get like 100 of those. Why not? We're not going to need quite that many. We're going to need, so dead center, and then this should hold the recipe. Yes, it does, which is really nice. So we're just going to need some redstone blocks, and I believe it is like this or something similar. It is more square, 3 on the top, and it should be exactly like that. And then we just need some quartz and a bunch of iron, and then more of these crystal matrix ingots. Now we can also get paradots. Paradots are not bad for EMC. And you can see this is kind of slow. devouring all the paradots. And that is the problem with the Energy Condenser Mark 1. The Mark 2 is a lot better, but we obviously don't have that. So other things that would be good, Awakened Draconium might actually be really good. How good are you? That is not bad. Let's go see what else we have. Because we can always get more of this kind of stuff. We're not really using this all that often. I believe these things are really... No, we can't use those. We could use empowered diamonds, I think. Yeah, that would work pretty well. What are some other things that are probably pretty expensive? Basically, the more expensive an item, the more EMC you get out of it. And that's all there is to it. Let's just make a stack of nether quartz blocks. And, I mean, obviously we could use, I guess if we had any, we could use the dark matter, but we don't have any of that. Is this, nope. I don't even know what this is. Compressed flint, no, that's not going to be good. I know wither skeleton skulls are decent. Okay, we'll find other things. And this is why we want to basically have all the chickens and seeds and cows running all at once. Cows would be really, really good just because we could actually, if we use, it is just 10 up top. If we use the infinity ingots, those are very high in EMC. So we have 5. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just need one more, so that's not that big of a deal. Let's see. Let's actually go by number of items. There is bound to be something that is good that we have a lot of, like nickel. Sapphires and rubies are good as well. Emeralds and diamonds. Let's just drop all of this stuff in here. And what are some other things that have good EMC? I know steels would. So the various steels, the stellar ingots, terra steels. Mana steel's not bad. We do have a few blocks of stellar. Never mind, we don't need any more. So we have some crystal matrix ingots. We need to always keep one of this stuff. Anytime we want to duplicate things, we need to keep one. And where all do these go? Other side, and then corners. Okay. It is like so. Alright, and then the rest is just iron. Blocks of iron, that is not a problem. We can make quite a few blocks of iron, and it's just all the way around. And there is the Neutron Collector. Now this thing is really, really slow. Luckily, we can speed it up. And then all we need for this is just one tiny pile of neutrons, and then we just duplicate stuff. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to put one more of these away. And there is the tiny pile of neutrons. We can let that run, might as well. It might be good to set it up so that it auto-ejects its items. But then we can just do this and get a ton of tiny piles of neutrons. Neutronium nuggets. And then, sure, we'll just something didn't work right there. And then we have, you know, the ingots. We will put one away. And I can't right click, it's left click. And then we need just 4 of these. We'll need more of those later. Those are used for a lot of in-game crafting things, which we are getting pretty close to be honest. I hate it when the animals spawn. But let's just go ahead and make the neutronium seeds. And that is the last of all of the mystical agriculture and mystical agriditions seeds. So that is all we need. Let's go ahead and get all of these quests taken care of. The next thing that we're going to need to do is get the neutronium compressor and start compressing thousands upon thousands of items into infinity catalysts to make infinity ingots. But we can already get the infinity ingots because of our cow, so it's not that big of a deal. We're probably going to still have to do that, but we get one of all the stuff, and it's good. Kind of the secret is there is a book that we can craft later, which gives us transmutations, and that is for the transmutation table, which we're not too far from making, all things considered. It does require another energy condenser, which is annoying, but that is not that big of a deal, other than the fact that we can't actually EMC those. Any of the Project E stuff is not EMCable, it seems. But this thing basically is going to be the end game, where you need a chaotic core, a lot of energy, and a transmutation tablet, which is really expensive. But if we get that, then basically every single recipe in the game that has EMC we will be able to make from just raw energy. So that is really good. We don't have to keep like an item aside. We don't have to have this crystal matrix ingots. We can just make them from nothing. So it is very powerful, and we might kind of skip some of this stuff. We'll see. Just so that we can do that. But let's get all of the rewards. Octadic capacitors are nice. Ender chests, it's whatever. And cobblestone generators. Alright, so most of that is useless to us, but that is going to be it for today's episode. I have a lot of work to do getting the farm ready and getting all the drawers we need to store everything, and I am going to work on that between episodes, obviously, and hopefully we can start maybe getting in the mood to build this area out, but at the very least get it functional. That is kind of my big goal, and it's going to be a lot of me just setting up cabling and all that kind of fun stuff. So I have that to look forward to. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We got actually quite a bit done, so that's nice. We'll need to make a lot of garden cloches as well, which, do those have EMC? Oh, they do, and they're cheap. Cool. So we can just duplicate these guys and be done with it. So that's what we're going to do for our greenhouse area. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!